ladies and gentlemen, here is a quick look at the Skagit Speedway before we get night 2 of the Skagit Nationals underway. This racetrack, man, one of the nicest dirt tracks and facilities in the country. We're so blessed to have this right here in our backyard in the Pacific Northwest. And it's no secret, lately we have been struggling a little bit with the 18T, and all teams go through that. Like, you're in the situation where you're not sure why you're off, why things don't feel right, why you're not making enough speed, and the only thing to get out of those slumps, that hole you dig yourself into, is just to keep racing. And remember, guys, as a driver, all you can control is what you can control. So that's your attitude, that's your mindset, that's your effort. You can't let things like this get you down and affect your performances. You just got to keep trying, and sometimes things are still not going to go how you want. That's kind of what's happened with us, but overall we're gonna keep getting after it and trying to get the 18T up front. So today is a new day here at Skagit Speedway. Yesterday we went out super late in qualifying. Tonight, luckily, they just flipped the order, so we're gonna go out early. I think that could help us as well, just trying to lay down a good time, get the night started well, try to accumulate some points to help us for tomorrow's 100,000 to win finale. Now, before we get racing tonight, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's show, Dee Zee. Now, you recognize that name because that is the big, beautiful red logo on the side of my top wing. They joined us in the second half of the season, and they are a generational family business that manufactures truck accessories in Des Moines, Iowa. They started small in 1977, but have now grown into a massive operation over 45 years later. So check out their products. I put a link at the top of the description. You can order and it will arrive directly at your front door, or you can go to their dealer locator tab and see where the nearest Dee Zee products are available in your area. All right, now it's time to go qualify at Skagit. Much better start to tonight. We ended up 12th quick out of a 42 car field here, Skagit Nationals. Went out earlier. That definitely played in our favor, but there were some guys that did go out late that ran some good laps and knocked us all down the board. I made good time in 3 and 4. I was kind of one of the first cars to run like through the middle or that higher lane, which yesterday we all qualified around the bottom. Tonight, guys were able to move up down there, but all still ran the bottom in 1 and 2. I felt like I lost all my time in 1 and 2. I don't really feel like I could have got through 3 and 4 much better, but 1 and 2, like, I got in and center off. The second I had to get off the throttle, and when I needed to get back to it, my car was almost just driving sideways free. Like, basically the more throttle I gave, the more it drove me off the bottom, and I needed to get back in the throttle. I would have lost just as much time, you know, trying to wait on it, I guess, if you could say. So I just needed that more from my car to drive me off straight, pick up a little bit of grip, and go. But anyway, 12th quick, that's going to put us starting, I think, second row in a heat race. We need to transfer now through that, but a much better start to our night, not having to come from as deep. If we can get through this, we should be looking okay for tonight's feature. So we did what we had to do in qualifying, and now it's time to do our job into the heat race. We're going to be rolling off from 4th. We transfer the top 5, and remember, it's all about points. So if we can pass like a car or 2, we should be sitting good for tonight's main event. But no matter what, transfer through this. We try to make our race car better. Right now, the track's actually maybe the best if we've seen it in the last day and a half. Guys are running the bottom and the top, and they seem pretty equal. So you can kind of do what is best for yourself, what's best for your car, and make speed and pass. So if we just try to get a good start here, like I said, running the top 3, try to win this heat race if you know we have the opportunity. But no matter what, just do what we got to do and make it through the 10 laps. good in not a bad heat race, but you know, I mean, I'm perfectionist, so I'm upset with how I let go of. I did everything right to get to third. Sometimes Skagit can be a difficult place to pass, man, and it was on the start. They kind of went dicey at it for first and second, and I put myself in a good position on the outside with momentum to sneak into third, and think that would have put me in a good position for tonight. You know, I told you I needed to pass a car. I mean, we'll still see how things shake out, but I think the difference in me passing a car and not might determine me starting up front or more mid-pack for the A. But I ran a good race, and my car, the best I felt. Like, my car was really good. In 3 and 4, I made up great speed. In 1 and 2, I was just a hair free. Like, I get in a little free, and I just couldn't carry as much corner speed as I would have liked. So I don't know. We'll have to look at that. Maybe I could have attacked the corner a little bit differently, but I just tried to like get more and more speed and get up there, and I could see a car underneath me. I just got nervous to like leave the door open, so I blocked the bottom once, and I felt good when I hit it. And then the second time out on the white flag when I did it, I just didn't hit it as good and left the door open. Then going into 3, and I just said, if you leave an inch, they'll take a foot. And that's how the racing is with these guys. It's just that close. Everyone needs every spot, and like that's how we're all running. So I just gave too much of a lane, and you know, we kind of went like this to the checkered, and I just had to lift. I carried so much speed trying to keep my foot in, and then all of a sudden I'm like, the wall's coming up, and didn't want to junk it, and I don't think I was going to be able to. It was going to be tight. So anyway, that really sucks that we only went 4 to 4 there, but we ran hard, and the good news is my car felt like the best by far so far all weekend. So we have something to work with for tonight's feature. So I was right, man. That one spot was a little detrimental to our starting position. We probably would have been on the front row. Now we are starting 9th. We're the first car out of that top 8 invert. Basically, they took the top 20 in points in the feature that transferred. They inverted the top 8. So that's unfortunate, but we also, you have to have short-term memory. We can't do anything about that now. So we just worked on our car, just tried to tighten up slightly, keep the balance the same. The track's really interesting right now. Like, it's slick, but it's kind of still dirty, but it's also not slick. Like the material, if you look at it, is still brown, not like blacker. That makes sense. Like, it still has some moisture. So I think the racetrack's still going to race fast, and we're going to be able to pass, but it's going to be a little bit of a quicker pace. So we're heading out. We start 9th. We just want to try to get a solid finish here. Of course, work our way forward. There's a lot of good cars, but just take every spot that we can and try to attack and run a good solid race. So if we can keep ourselves in the mix, be there, you know, closer to the end, and like I said, just take advantage of as many points as possible. So this is going to be a tough one starting 9th, but I know we can move forward and just run a smart race. we just pulled in after the feature. Man, it's hard to see out there. Visibility is a little low. I think my face is probably a little dirty. Finished 13th, started 9th, battled pretty hard throughout the race. Just never really kind of was able to get going forward. Had a lot of just like battling with cars, and if you made a mistake, someone could get to you, but otherwise everyone was a little similar in speed. I just frustrated. I feel like I could have, gosh man, sometimes I just get caught not being sure what to do, and I feel like it's so easy when you get here to be like, well, I could have done that, and I just think that I tried grabbing so much wing because my car, when I was not on the cushion, needed grip, and I kind of thought that, hey, maybe I need to be in the middle, maybe I need to get to the bottom, and like I wasn't able to, like I said, start gaining on guys, so I felt like I was kind of moving a lot, and I never really just committed fully to the top. And honestly, I feel like if I would have moved my wing forward and done that, I would have had a much better shot. Now you're vulnerable up there as well, but if you get going with some momentum, you can really start to gain on guys. It's when you're on the bottom like I was, like you kind of do, but like even when you get to them, you have to move, and then like I said, you feel like your wing's always in the wrong spot, so I was trying to move it a little bit. But yeah, anyway, just frustrating that we weren't able to get a top 10, and I just felt like I could have ran a better race. So our car was close. Keep making changes. Like I think tonight was a lot better than some of our previous nights, and I felt a lot more comfortable. And the racetrack's just tricky. I mean, it's all the way on the wall in 1 and 2, and super easy to slip your race car and get free. And 3 and 4 had more of a cushion, and it was thicker, so you needed to be freer to be able to just rail around that. So anyway, I just made some mistakes, and we're top 15 tonight, and glad we were in the show, but obviously you want to keep improving and work on getting better. Well, the night has came to a close here at Skagit Speedway. Just looking out over the track as they're getting ready to kind of work it and get it ready for its final night of racing for the Skagit Nationals. Gosh, dirt racing's a tough sport. Tonight was, one of our better nights the last couple of weeks, so that's something to, thumbs up, and I guess you could say be proud of. But man, you just, we're, as dirt racers, we're the worst, man. You always want more, and you don't ever, like, for us, I don't look at the type of field that we're up against. I just expect us to do as good as we can and to be up front. And I absolutely think that I know we can get there. We've obviously proved that, and we proved that in Oregon, but it's hard to do that night after night after night, and you just have to be so on it, and you have to run such a good race and such a pace, and your car's got to be at least close. And yeah, I think that, in some ways we're working there, and tonight had some positives compared to like yesterday. Yesterday felt disastrous, and tonight, like, my car felt more comfortable. We qualified well. We should have started up front in the A main event because we should have ran 3rd in the heat race, and that could have also changed our end result. But nonetheless, ran right around the back side of the top 10 for most of the show, and just wasn't able to hold on kind of there at the end. Lost a couple of positions and just got caught not being sure where to go, and not put together some good laps and some laps that weren't as good, and that allowed guys to attack me, and I never put myself in a position. I just never felt like I was good enough to charge forward and attack guys and put them in position where I could maybe overtake them. So as always, I'm going to be chasing more. I'm going to watch back and see what I could have done better. I mean, I know, what's so tough about this sport too is, like, I know what I need to do better. Like, sometimes even during the race you have those moments, but it's translating it to also making that, like, recognizing but executing. And for someone that's a non-racer, that might seem like simple, like, well, why not just execute? Well, it's not necessarily, it doesn't just happen like that. And so for me, I just need to, mind to steering wheel to gas pedal to brake, like all of that, especially when things are happening so fast and at this level. And so that's just what I need to continue working on. But and then we'll continue to also make the car better for myself. Like tonight, I felt 10 times more comfortable, and I felt like I ran better because of that, and also made a ton more speed. Anyway, a big thank you to my team and family, my partners, you great fans, man. Especially like when these weeks are tough like this and it's hard on a team. You're not making shows, you're not making any money, you're burning up fuel, burning up methanol, burning up time on your equipment. Like, my fans are what are keeping me going. You guys supporting me through my merchandise and watching all my stuff, like, that's literally what helps us go up and down the road. So just feeling very blessed, glad that today was much better, and like I said, one of the better nights points, you know, during our West Coast swing, and we're sitting 24th in points right now, so we have a little bit of ground to make up, but the goal is to get into the finale and get into the Skagit Nationals and give ourselves a shot to move forward and make something to finish our weekend. So I love this racetrack, love this place, man. Even though we're just trying to get around it a little bit better, it is much different. You know, whatever they've done, they put some material on this place and it's just made it really dusty and a different, like it's fast, but it is slick and dirty. It's not necessarily just like slow and black. It's like I talked about before the feature, it's more of a brown and like dusty, and it's got grip. So it's an interesting deal, and it's a lot different than when we were here earlier in the year, and that's why we're all changing our setups, and that's why I didn't feel comfortable right away, because you got to do something different to make your car fast. Anyway, thanks for watching. We will see you guys in the next video. We are going to keep plugging away, and our goal is to get into tomorrow's 100,000 to win a main event. We'll see you there. Deuces.